You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rosance for Black and White Sports. Well, of course, we got drama in the NFL this morning after the Super Bowl. The Rams beat the Bengals last night. It was a close game since I didn't have any dog in the hunt. I really and truly just wanted a close game. God, the Bengals have to get an offensive line or they're going to ruin what could be an all-time great quarterback eventually. But last night was a halftime show. I said I loved the halftime show because it was like the soundtrack of my late teens, early 20s, and mid-20s. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I'm 47 years old, so that was right in my lane. That, and I didn't have a lot of in-between when it came to my music taste. I liked Metallica and Korn and Slipknot, or I liked, Dr. Dre and Public Enemy and all these guys on the other side. And occasionally I'd sprinkle in like some Dwight Yoakam or Sammy Kershaw or somebody like that. But you get my point. I really enjoyed the halftime show, but somehow, some way, I missed this last night. I don't know if I turned away to my wife or what. Eminem performed last night. Of course, Dre, 50, all the 50 surprised by coming out of nowhere. They put on a hell of a show. I thought you could tell Dr. Dre was very, very aware of how big the moment was, and Dr. Dre had a smile on his face nearly the whole time. Dr. Dre is older like me, and I kind of appreciate the fact that I know he's really paid his dues and built his brand into something that's just unbelievable. But it's not without controversy, it seems. Colin Kaepernick got a nod last night from Eminem. And, of course, we've said this before, we've said it again. It's white SJWs always that seems to be causing the most controversy. Because look at us. We got to show you how woke we are. And what's happened is Eminem has become like a lot of celebrities. He's just cur-dogged down to the woke mob. Very quickly, if you hate kneeling, stand up 1776. That is the shirt I got on. Grab it out of the merch store. Promo code USA First, all one word, 25% off. And tell the bastards how much you hate kneeling. One of our best-selling shirts. Any of our shirts are 25% off right now. Eminem defies the NFL and honors Colin Kaepernick by taking a knee during the Super Bowl halftime show. Eminem took a knee during the Super Bowl halftime show performance, a move that was reportedly in direct defiance of the NFL's wishes. The rapper was joined by Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, surprise guest 50, and Anderson .Paak. I don't even know who the hell that is. In a high-energy Pepsi-sponsored extravaganza that celebrated the soundtrack to all your Gen X and Millennial friends' college parties. Hell, what are you talking about? Driving down the road in the car with your punches going. Many of these artists' songs have bluntly and boldly addressed civil rights and other political topics, while Dre's 1988 NWA song F the Police was most certainly not included in tonight's playlist. This is not a group of people who shy away from hot-button topics. Media reports in advance of the big game said that Eminem made a request to kneel to honor Colin Kaepernick, but was turned down by the powers that be at the NFL because they wanted to avoid a divisive culture war moment. Well, I guess he kneeled anyway. Like I said, I missed it. Once the performance started, Eminem was on the roof of the sprawling mansion constructed for the stage. There was not much the NFL brass could do. After he and Dre electrified the crowd with their 2000 hit Forgot About Dre, Eminem launched into his Oscar-winning Lose Yourself from 8 Mile. And he put his hand on his head and kneeled as the crowd roared. And there's a picture of him kneeling. Again, I got to admit, I don't know how I missed that. I turned away for a minute, but I did miss it nonetheless. Somehow, some way, we still get a social justice moment during the game. Now, I'm going to tell you, this SOB, this entire fiasco, was woke as hell for an entire hour before this thing started. And I got to admit, At one point, I got so angry, I almost turned the Super Bowl off for the first time in all the years that I can remember watching the Super Bowl. I think my earliest memory of the Super Bowl was probably like 81 or something like that, 80. But I was so mad by some of the BS that they were doing, I almost turned it off. But I was like, fuck it, I got a sports channel, I got to cover it. I got to be able to talk about it on a live stream, which I did last night. But this is just another thing that today you're going to have to talk about, and the NFL's going to have to deal with. There's going to be fallout from this. I saw on Twitter a lot of people did not watch the game last night, although I suspect it will grab a big rating. Okay, I think a certain amount of the ratings having come back is part of the exhale of the COVID BS, and people kind of wanting to take a stand against that and get back to normal life, okay? Not normal as in what the politicians say is normal, but normal as in before the pandemic period, okay? So the NFL is always having to deal with something now, and this is what they get for having allowed it to begin with. Okay, if they would have just stayed with the original sentiment of, no, you're not doing this, and Roger Goodell and the owners would have had the balls to have taken a stronger stance and just said, look, if you kneel for the anthem, you're out of the league. We're not going to be unpatriotic in this league or you won't get a check, period. Okay, because at the end of the day, when they're in the stadium and they're getting ready to play a game, they are on company time. Okay, I don't understand how people don't realize that. They are employees at the end of the day, and just make a policy against it. Plain and simple. It's as simple as that. And people would say, well, that's going to be a bad look. Is it? Is it? Sports used to be about patriotism. It's anything but now, and it has hurt sports really bad. The MLB's ratings tanked. NBA ratings tanked. Basically, the only thing that has held up has been college and pro football. That's it. That's it. And I still suspect that a lot, and I think the NFL strategically did this, that a lot of the NFL ratings that the NFL is getting now is tied to the fact that so many states now allow legalized gambling on sports. Now that DraftKings and FanDuel allow legal betting, everything is going to be centered around betting going forward. I mean, there's talk that MGM and Caesars is going to get their own actual sports networks covering sports. And that's why you've seen the NFL bounce back in ratings. Guys are going to gamble. They don't give a shit what the league's doing. They are going to gamble. It is what it is. Just more drama from the NFL involving kneeling. Somehow, some way, we're still talking about that. We're not bringing up the fact that more whites are killed by police unarmed than blacks. That continues to not be a thing in the media. And Colin Kaepernick, a scrub, a guy that was a borderline backup quarterback, got benched for Blaine Gabbert. Somehow, some way, still gets brought up. I mean, the other day, after Aaron Rodgers won the MVP, people on Twitter actually believed, oh my God, Colin Kaepernick should be in the league because Aaron Rodgers won the MVP, and they were triggered. Colin Kaepernick never sniffed being as good a quarterback as Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that tells you right there that it's people that's not involved in sports that are making this an issue. They don't know sports. Quit talking about it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you try to ruin everything. Entertainment, sports, you name it. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. More controversy for the NFL somehow around Colin Kaepernick. Peace, I'm out.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.